So my final question is, if you are going to come back, what might you expect?
Of me or of the world?
To come back as?
Me. I would like to come back as me. I mean, I really would. I can't think of anybody else I'd like to come back
Do the
as.
whole thing all over again.
Yeah. I love my life.
Really glad you're here today. I hope you enjoy the video. And if you want to support the channel, tap subscribe. It's totally free, and it helps more than you'd think. Now let's begin. Imagine being a Hollywood icon, shining brighter than anyone else, and realizing the success that made you famous also demanded a private price. That's Goldie Hawn, the golden girl whose timing, warmth, and wit made her a legend, and whose off-screen life has been just as gripping as her movies. From whirlwind romances to heartbreak, from reinvention to a love story that outlasted the tabloids, Goldie's path has been equal parts glamorous and raw. At 79, she's speaking more directly about what really happened, especially around her divorce, opening a window most people never get to see. Goldie Jean Hawn was born November 21, 1945 in Washington, D.C., and raised in Tacoma Park, Maryland. She was the kid who couldn't not perform, a natural ham with a bright sense of humor and a work ethic that showed up early. Her parents, Laura and Edward, kept her grounded while letting her dream. Ballet became her anchor, discipline, expression, and a place to put all that energy. By the early 1960s, she was in New York, training at the Martha Graham School, learning to marry technique with feeling. Then a door swung open. A scout clocked the charisma, the smile, the comedic spark, and Goldie landed on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. The giggle, the paint-splashed bikinis, the rapid-fire punchlines, overnight she became a television phenomenon. The spotlight blazed, the schedules got brutal, and the expectations multiplied. But she stayed herself, quick, kind, and surprisingly practical about fame. Her personal life, of course, never stayed personal for long. Headlines chased her dates and friendships with the same hunger they chased her box office. It wasn't always fair, but Goldie kept moving. She loved big, learned fast, and never let the noise drown out the work. Her first marriage was to dancer, choreographer, director Gus Triconis. They married May 16, 1969 in Hawaii. Two artists in sync, right as Goldie's career rocketed. That same year, she won the Academy Award for Cactus Flower, proof that the go-go TV sprite could carry a movie with real craft. The marriage, though, struggled in the blast zone of sudden fame. They separated in 1970 and later divorced, closing a short but formative chapter that left both with clearer eyes about love in the spotlight. Then came Bill Hudson of the Hudson Brothers. They met by chance, talked like they'd known each other for years, and fell hard. The wedding in 1976 was low-key and heartfelt. Soon after came two children, Oliver, born September 7, 1976, and Kate, born April 19, 1979. For a while it looked storybook. Red carpets, goofy grins, a family at ease around cameras. But life pulled them in different directions. Goldie's career kept climbing. Bill's music work hit turbulence. The imbalance bred tension, and by 1982, the marriage was over. Even so, they tried to put parenting first, school events, birthdays, and the everyday structure kids need. Oliver and Kate have spoken warmly over the years about feeling loved, supported, and encouraged to make their own choices. But the adults remember it differently. Goldie has said both husbands struggled with her success, that jealousy and pressure ate at the marriages. Bill, quiet for years, pushed back in his memoir, Two Versions, The Other Side of Fame and Family, claiming Goldie suggested an open marriage early on, and arguing that he was unfairly cast as the villain both publicly and within the family. He said he felt erased by the narrative that painted Kurt Russell as the only real father figure to the children. Their accounts diverge, the way they usually do when intimate history meets public curiosity. Somewhere between those versions sits a complicated truth. fame amplifies everything. A marriage is still two imperfect people trying to keep a promise. Meanwhile, Goldie kept building a career with unusual staying power. She could flip from fizzy comedy to quiet feeling without losing pace. Shampoo, Foul Play, Private Benjamin, Overboard, The First Wives Club. She wasn't just starring, she was producing shaping roles that fit her voice, nudging projects toward the blend of sparkle and steel that audiences loved. If a joke was lighter on the surface, the performance underneath was precise, eyes doing as much work as the one-liner. After the divorce dust settled, her love life stayed in the news, but the tone changed. The great partnership arrived, not as a wedding, but as a choice they kept making. Kurt Russell. They'd crossed paths years earlier, but in 1983, working together on Swing Shift, both now single, the timing finally aligned. What started as chemistry became companionship. No elaborate ceremony, no need. They built a life that worked for them. Private when it mattered, playful when it didn't, all anchored by trust. Goldie brought Oliver and Kate. Kurt brought his son Boston. Together they welcomed Wyatt in 1986. The house they made was loud with laughter, clear about rules, and mostly off-limits to the frenzy outside. On screen, they were irresistible in Overboard, and decades later, cozy holiday magic in The Christmas Chronicles. Off-screen, they were a quiet rebuke to the idea that a relationship only counts if there's a license. Commitment, they've shown, is daily, not decorative. Goldie's children grew up watching a mother who showed that ambition and tenderness aren't opposites. She made sets feel like second homes, but she also taught boundaries, how to say no, how to keep your name while keeping your center. Oliver and Kate carved their own paths in entertainment. Wyatt did the same in acting after a pro hockey stint. The legacy isn't just famous last names, it's work ethic, kindness to crews, and the insistence that success doesn't entitle you to shortcut decency. Inevitably, speculation followed her face. Aging in public is ruthless, and rumors of cosmetic work trailed her for years. Some observers said changes softened expressions. Others insisted she looked radiant and exactly like herself. Goldie didn't spend much time answering. The performances did the talking. On camera, she remained alert, funny, alive, a reminder that the trick was never skin deep. It was timing, honesty, and the courage to keep showing up. Ask her now, and she'll admit the private costs of public life. Tabloids spun their stories. Friends disappeared when the phone stopped ringing. Love got harder in rooms where everyone wanted the same big thing. But she learned to take the bruise and find the lesson. She learned that laughter can be a shield and also a bridge. She learned that independence isn't a pose. It's the daily work of choosing your values over other people's appetites. If there's a single through line to the Goldie story, it's agency. The kid from Tacoma Park takes control of her craft, the TV star pivots to movies, the ingenue produces, the twice-divorced mother charts a relationship that doesn't need a minister to validate it. She refuses to let anyone else write the ending. That doesn't mean it's all neat. Divorce leaves scars. Blended families take patience. Even the best partnerships need rewiring over time. But she stood up for the pieces that matter. Family first, work that feels like play, and a home where you can exhale. People love to romanticize the past. Goldie doesn't. She'll tell you straight. The pace was punishing. The press hunted for cracks. Confidence didn't always come easy. What saved her wasn't luck so much as a set of habits. Show up prepared, be generous, keep the crew on your side, honor the audience's time, and laugh at yourself before anyone else does. If the room feels cold, make the first joke. If the rumor mill starts grinding, go back to work. The divorce question, what really happened, still hangs in the air because it touches nerves the public understands. Two people fall in love. One career rockets, the other stalls. Resentment creeps in. Love buckles under attention and insecurity. Did jealousy ruin it? Did success change her? Did the story get simplified so the audience could pick a side? Goldie's take is blunt. The marriages couldn't bear the pressure. Bill's rebuttal is equally blunt. The public narrative didn't tell his truth. Both things can be true at once. You can feel unseen in a marriage and also feel misrepresented later. You can grieve what you lost and still be grateful for the family it gave you. The relationship with Kurt proved something else. Happiness doesn't need ceremony. They chose each other and kept choosing year after year. They built a blended family that functions like any other. Inside jokes, chores, hard days, ordinary joys, just with better movie nights. They made space for independence inside commitment, and they kept the rest of us out of their living room unless they invited us in. And through all of it, the work kept landing. Private Benjamin wasn't just a comedy. It was a new kind of heroine, funny, flawed, determined. Overboard gave slapstick a beating heart. The First Wives Club let her weaponize timing in a way only she could, a wink, a pause, a line that detonates on arrival. The performances felt weightless, but they were engineered like bridges, balanced, sturdy, and built to carry a crowd. The older she gets, the more candid she is about what lasts. Looks fade, hype fades, even hits fade. What doesn't is the way you treated people when no one was watching, the kids you raised, the partner who still wants to share coffee on a Tuesday. She'll joke about the rumors and then pivot to what matters. Are you still curious? Are you still kind? Do you still love the work? That's the arc worth remembering. A girl who danced her way out of a Maryland living room became one of the most recognizable faces on earth. She loved and lost and loved again without letting the losses sour her. She raised artists who know who they are. She helped rewire the way people think about commitment. And she kept the laughter honest, never mean, always human. So when you picture Goldie Hawn, it's fine to remember the glitter, the laugh-in giggle, the gowns, the crowd roaring at a punchline. But make room for the grit, the rehearsals, the boundary setting, the choice to protect a family from the machine that made her famous. The legend is built on both. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.